Recently, I've been having this reoccurring nightmare. It always starts the same way. I wake up and I force myself up without knowing why. It's still dark outside. I missed the bus and I have to wait for the next one. The city is lifeless. Faces blur past me. Shadows of people I don't recognize. I see the workplace as the sun appears, and my heart aches. I walk through the office corridor. I feel a bit lightheaded. At my desk, time slows down as I'm crunching in meaningless data. The seconds ticking louder in my head. On my lunch break, I go for a walk, trying to clear my head, trying to make sense of it all. Eventually, the horror ends with one wage slave bus ride home, and as I go to bed, every part of me is drained, but the exhaustion isn't physical, it's something deeper. A kind of numbness, staring at the ceiling, and then I realize this isn't a dream. This is my life.
Now let's address the question on everyone's mind. Why am I still making these wage slave videos? Why can't I just suck it up and accept reality for what it is? Yes, I have to work 8 hours per day, 5 days per week. Yes, this is normal. Yes, this is how society works. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's wrong. Because people need to wake up from the matrix. This is the brutal truth about work. We're trapped in this nightmare that never ends. And for what? Your company will tell you, hey, we're family. But the moment the profits dip, they will drop you. In 2023, Google fired 21,000 people, and Facebook, or Meta, fired 12,000 people. Now they called it layoffs, as it's not personal, but come on. There's a technical difference, sure, whether or not they're fired for personal reasons or let go due to economical downsizing. But for us, the employees, the outcome is the same. Since HR actually picks who gets to go and who gets to stay, I would argue that it's actually very personal, as they're letting go of people whose performance isn't as good as the rest. Also, is the layoffs because they couldn't afford to pay them? Really? Like, Google and Facebook made several billions in net profit last year. Everyone just accepts this reality. Sure, most people think it's shitty of these big corporations, but everyone still sort of accepts it. Well, I don't, and that's why I never ever trust companies. This is why I make these videos about wage slavery. It's time to say no. It's time to say enough is enough. Maybe the commercial landscape is what it is, and society needs these layoffs, but stop pretending. Stop the gimmick slogans like, it's all about the people. It's all about the planet. No, you're nothing more than an asset to them. It's time to flip the script and regain control. Companies are making record profits. They throw parties and upgrade furnitures. But when was the last time you saw your paycheck reflect those profits? Don't waste your loyalty to a company that will fire you for profit any day. It's better to invest in yourself, not in them. Don't live to work, work to live. Prioritize your energy and time for what really matters. You see, the truth is that your boss's dream car is paid for by the hours you traded for a paycheck. And every hour you sell to someone else is an hour you could be investing in yourself. Remember, the biggest mistake you can make is thinking that a job is a security. True security is only in your own hands. The 40-hour work week wasn't created to give us freedom. It was a system to squeeze productivity. Are we just cogs in a machine? And the financial system, it's designed to keep people desperate and trapped in order to work. Living as a wage slave has completely drained my spirit. I've mentioned it in several videos, but I refuse to give up because we deserve more than this endless cycle. And I'm gonna do something about it. And I'm gonna shout from the top of my lungs until they hear us. I'm gonna cry, kick, scream until the system collapses. The haters are gonna call me a whiner, but I don't care because I see the truth. The biggest chains in life are the ones you can't see, like a steady job that steals your freedom. Don't confuse a paycheck with a purpose. Trading hours for dollars isn't wealth. It's a slow surrender of your life's potential. And if you don't build your own dreams, someone will hire you to build theirs. The salary is the drug they give you to forget your dreams. The weekend is just not enough, especially if you're too tired to enjoy life after work. And vacation, that's a joke. It's time to rethink your priorities. There is a quiet realization that most people will eventually experience, that you have worked more days than you have actually lived. There is a silent warrior within me that refuses to go quietly. I'm going to escape wage slavery or die trying. In my final year at the university, I was writing my master's thesis, and this one day something happened. I fell into a deep depression, and it was very unexpected. Nothing really happened or didn't happen. I just woke up one morning and I lost the will to live. I got into therapy and medication, and I talked to my therapist for years about this. Life just felt meaningless, and I never finished the thesis, and therefore I never got my master's degree. Today, I'm in a very different situation. Despite my problems with wage slavery, I'm actually very happy. I'm healthy, I have a beautiful person to share my life with, and I have a passion for making videos. So when I look at that period of my life, I have a very different perspective. So here's what I think happened. The purpose of my life at that point was to get a degree from the university. I got my bachelor's degree, so I really didn't need the master's degree. So I didn't have a purpose anymore because I never had a vision of anything beyond getting a degree. In a sense, I felt my life was over. So when it came to my career, I just saw the bullshit very early in my life. I understood the brutal truth about jobs. I was really smart back then compared to the imbecile I am today, because trust me, wage slavery has made me stupid and slow. I never fell for the career path. I just wanted that degree, and partially to please my parents and especially my grandfather. I wanted them to be proud of me. But deep down inside, I knew that once I start working, my life would be over. And here we are. I've arrived. I'm standing at the beach, confused and more lost than ever. What shores are these? What world? What kingdom is this? When I started my first office job, I was very proud of the achievement of getting there, but I wasn't really happy at all. I remember my first meeting thinking, this is the first of thousands of meetings. I remember getting home exhausted and feeling used. I would have cried, but the antidepressants kept the tears on the inside. Now, the reason I come down so hard on the 9-to-5 rat race is because my mind is wired to question the societal norm. I've always been that way. But there is something very peculiar about wage slavery, and the more I talk about it, the more people I encounter that have the same thoughts about it. When you think about work itself, it's a very pointless exercise. I mean, you work to live in order to work. It's a paradoxical situation where people just do it, not because they love it, they do it because it's expected of them. They do it because they are programmed to do the work without questioning it. But if you really think about it, it doesn't make sense. You work so you can have money, to buy food, to keep working. Working is the purpose. Your entire existence on this earth is to work for some greedy company. Now, you know, I see these posters at work. It's all about the people. It's all about the planet. It's bullshit. It always was. If the posters were honest, they would say it's all about the money. It's all about the profit. We don't care about you. Money gives people purpose. It's a brutal realization that most people actually know, but don't want to say out loud. For me personally, I've always questioned parents, teachers, and bosses. Whenever I hear, just do it, I cannot let that slide. I need to know why. So here is an example that will rub some people the wrong way. The planet is dying. We have to save the environment from climate change. Everybody knows this. You know this, Greta knows this. Can I say something here? Why is it so important to save the planet? or just organic matter, like moss on a rock flying around in space? What's so special about us anyway? But no, we should not question the status quo, and we should just move on without asking questions. This is ridiculous. It's this don't ask, don't tell bullshit. And as I looked through my own content, my own bullshit, I noticed that there is a red thread that unfolds a much bigger question. It's a question that demands an answer that unfortunately can never be answered. When people at work discuss the weather or sports, I pondered this difficult philosophical question about purpose, and then it dawns upon me. The brutal truth about wage slavery is that we work because we have no purpose. It's all just a twisted version of throwing cards in a hat. It's pointless, but it keeps us busy. Keeping yourself busy so you never have to stare into the bottom of the abyss. Because doing that, you will come to realize there's nothing staring back. As always, thank you for listening. Do me a favor and tap that like button to show your support. Subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. Until next time, stay hungry, relentless, and strong in your journey of escaping wage slavery. Bye. Oh, you're still here. Oh, that's right. It's the behind the scenes vlog. This is more for the subscribers where I share personal stuff. So if you're interested, stick around. So this is my last video of 2024 and I'm going to explain more about it in a minute or two. But first, a couple of other things. As I look back on 2024, I'm truly proud of most of the videos that I made. So I'm grateful for everyone who watched them. And I actually also feel gratitude towards YouTube for making it possible for someone like me to share content online. Now, yes, they do have their ad revenue agenda, but without them, you would not be watching this video. My purpose on this earth seems to be to suffer and to share my thoughts about it. And maybe that's like the quintessential definition of the word artist. I don't know. I've always found the word artist a bit pretentious. I prefer the term creative. In the beginning of 2024, I made a video called something like 2024 is the last year as a wage slave. Unfortunately, I'm just not there yet. Oh, and recently, something very interesting happened to me. I fell in love. It's true. I got my first drone. I got it mostly to get more interesting shots for my videos, but it turns out that it's just so much fun to fly around and film things from above. You get a very different perspective, so I'm just having a lot of fun. Also, I'm not sure if I should mention this, but I also got the latest iPhone and I actually made a review of it. I'll put a link in the video description and below. It's a good iPhone. Like, it's got really good cameras. It was super expensive, and there is a part of me that feels a bit disgusted with the feeling of money just being wasted. But like I said in a previous video of mine, being cheap is not a way to escape wage slavery. Figuring out how to earn more money is the right path, because there is a limit on how financially frugal you can be, but when it comes to making money, there is no limit. So, like I said, this is my final video for 2024. For some of the newer subscribers, you may not know it, but I always take a break from social media from November to December. It's a way for me to get perspective on things and to get new inspiration for next year. You see, YouTube is a very creative outlet for me. It's a passion. But it's sort of like a fire. Yes, it keeps me warm and happy, but if I'm not careful, I could get burned. There is something I also want to mention before next year starts. You know, I struggle as a content creator for two reasons. First one being the split road paradox. You see, there are these two paths in front of me. One is about creativity and being authentic, and the other one is about making money. And it's kind of difficult to talk about, but I'm trying to be as authentic as I can be, and I still don't know how I'm going to figure out this dilemma. As some of my favorite authentic YouTubers have crossed to the money-making side of YouTube, you know, selling courses and books, like, I don't have a problem with it, you know, there's nothing wrong with people trying to make a living. There is just something icky about the commercial side that I can't quite put my finger on. The second thing I wanted to talk about is my content itself. So this year, I feel I've made a lot of videos about wage slavery, And there is this voice in my head that tells me that I should just keep on doing it because this is what my audience likes. And while I do care about this topic a lot, I'm not certain that I want to spend the rest of my life making videos about wage slavery. You know, since the passing of my dad, it's been an emotional roller coaster for me. Like initially I was in shock, then came the realization that I'll never see him again, and then, his death reminded me what matters in life. And the truth is that as a content creator, I have been obsessed with numbers, statistics like views and subscribers, comments, likes. It happens to most YouTubers, but death has a way of reminding you that none of that really matters. Very few things actually matter. While it might sound depressing at first, it is actually about capturing the essence of everything we experience in life to find a purpose you can live with. So for example, if I died today, I'd like to think that my life mattered. And so it's important to find a purpose worth dying for, if you will. Now that's how I feel about my content. I want it to matter. But honestly, what's the point of living if you don't see value in it? And so I want to go where inspiration takes me, and hopefully that will bring some value to people's lives. That's all I want. Like I said, I don't want to sound pretentious, but I do need to take some time to be distant from content creation. You see, my life has been a bit of a struggle since I was a small boy, and maybe it's the same for everyone. That's just life, they say. But I can only share my experience. I've struggled with depression and existential anxiety. And while I often feel I got it under control, I often feel that I was put on this earth to struggle. And more than anything, I struggle with this inner voice that has tried to put me down whenever I do something or buy something or try something. You might know this voice. This is the voice that tells you that you don't deserve to be happy. This is the voice that tempts you to do bad things. Some people call it the devil. Other people say that is what makes us human. Now, as a content creator, I struggle with being original because the voice tells me that I'm not good enough, that it's better to just copy successful strategies, And so I fell into this trap of trying to do whatever seems to work instead of doing my own thing. But this one day, I slipped up. I made a video called Wage Slavery Broke My Spirit, where I was very honest about how I feel about work. And you related to that. You related to the authenticity of that video. So thank you for it, for reminding me not to listen to that voice. But now I find myself asking, how many wage slavery is bad videos can I make? Because the voice tells me that I need to keep going. I was lucky stumbling onto this wage slavery topic. But these wage slavery videos, they're not really about work itself. There is something deeper beneath the surface. It's about living a life to be proud of, about following your dreams and inspiration. And if you don't have that, you might as well give your life away to some greedy company. After all, if you don't have the soul of a dreamer, how can work be soul crushing? And so this is where my inner voice goes, Tom, what the hell are you doing? You see, this psychological battle is never truly won. I always hear that voice. I will always hear it. But I think I just need to calm down, take my time, and I'll be able to be all I need to be, which is authentic, true to myself, and hopefully proud of who I am. My plan for next year was to create a second channel where I could be myself, because the voice told me to not risk alienating my subscribers on this channel, so it's safer to start a second channel. But I come to realize that I don't want to hide my authentic side from the world, and if that means losing subscribers, so be it. It's not about the number, it's about making content from your heart. Now, no offense to Mr. Beast and his billions of subscribers, but I can't believe that he's actually proud of the videos where he locks people in rooms just to get millions of views. It's just a twisted version of Big Brother. Or maybe it is something that he's proud of. I don't know. I just know that I don't want to do whatever it takes to get views and clicks. And if making authentic videos means that I only reach 10 people, that's still genuine. Because it comes from the heart, then it means something, it matters to me, it's worth it. Now, I get this authentic inspiration from time to time, but being human means that I also slip up, so I'm hoping that you will let me know when that happens. Tell me the truth, even if it hurts my feelings. Tom, that clickbait title was beneath you. Tom, that last video, you're better than this. Finally, I just want to say that I'm so grateful for my wife, my dog, and my cat. Life would be unbearable without them. We still go out on walks every Saturday with the dog, We usually go to the beach, we walk for a while, then we have some coffee, and this is the highlight of my weeks. It's not enough, but it reminds me what I want and why I need to escape the 9 to 5. So until next year, stay safe and healthy, and truly, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all a great Christmas holiday when you get there. See you around. Bye.